Hello everyone. Today I'd like to speak about whether or not we should be making changes to please another person. So when someone says to you, I need you to make changes for me, and we as people are not static. We evolve and change and develop, and we need to make changes throughout our lives, not just for someone else, but also for ourselves. So it is okay for someone to say to you, I need you to make certain changes in order for things to be better between us. But it depends on who that person is, at what stage and point are they asking you to make that change, and in what ways and what kind of changes. So you really need to evaluate these questions, and the way that you respond has to be in a way that makes you feel comfortable. So let's just take a look at, the types of relationships that we have and who would be asking you to change for them. So typically a friend is not going to say to you, please change for me, because they're your friend because they love who you are and they enjoy being around you, and obviously you have common things that keep the friendship going. But you have sometimes parents who might ask children to make changes, and that's okay as long as it's meeting the needs of the children as well, and the needs of the parents. But here I think we're going to focus on relationships, so it would be romantic relationships. And when people ask you to make changes for them, you need to look at why they're asking you to do it, and if you're able to make those changes, and if you even want to make that change. So when we are with somebody, we obviously were attracted to them, I guess, enough at some point to start a relationship. So if they're asking you off the bat before anything even happens to change for them, then they may not be the person for you. If you're not the type of look that they want, if you don't act the way they want or talk the way they want, or engage in certain things that they like, so what is there to build on from there? But if it's just minor changes, then maybe something could be made. We all know that certain people like to give others makeovers and things like that, and that's okay sometimes, but both parties have to be in agreement to that, right, in order for everyone to be happy. So you have to make sure that any change that you make doesn't go against your grain, doesn't go against your nature, doesn't go against any religious beliefs or morals or ethics that you have, and that it doesn't compromise your health, your mental health, your emotional health, and your mental stability, that you're not being bullied into doing it, that you are not being abused in any way, and that you're made to feel worthy about yourself and who you are. You should never feel less for and wanting to do more for someone else in order to feel good about yourself. You need to make sure that you're comfortable enough in your own skin, and that whatever changes you're making are changes that you want to embrace as well. So that would be something to consider when someone else is asking you to make a change. So let's say a couple meets in their teens, late teens, early 20s or 30s, and they start a relationship. Now, as you get older, as you mature, as things happen in your life, as you hit certain stages, such as, getting married, having a job, and then changing careers, maybe starting a business, maybe one of you has to relocate or has to commute, if you are planning on having children, or if there are already children involved, all of these different things put us in situations where it puts a strain, not just on us, but on our relationship. So it's very important to have open and effective communication with your partner, because that way you can express what your needs are, what your desires are, and how you may want the other person to change in order to make you feel comfortable in the relationship. And you may agree with the other person, you may disagree, or you may say, okay, I think that both of us need to make certain changes or certain accommodations in order to meet our mutual needs. So the end end goal has to be the same. You need to be okay with where your relationship is heading. You need to be okay with the type of relationship that you have currently. And you need to be okay with being asked to make certain changes, because nobody likes to be told or to feel like they're not good enough, or that the other person would only like them if they were to be a different way or another way, right? So you really need to do that. And you need to be able to talk to your partner openly and safely in order to come to terms with what it is that they want from you and what you can do in order to meet their needs and for them to be able to meet yours as well. So yeah, it's not a cut and dry, but when someone says, you know, I want you to make changes to yourself, well, does that include cosmetic surgery? Does that include makeup? Does that include clothing? What does that include? What do you want me to change about myself? Do you want me to change who I am at the core? Do you want me to change my personality? Do you want me to change the way that I treat other people? The way that I treat myself? What is it that you want me to make changes on or with? So these are things that really need to be considered. But overall, as long as both partners are on the same page, as long as they have the same common goal in the relationship, as long as they understand that each person has to have their own individuality and their own life and their own way of doing things, and as long as it doesn't harm the other person, as long as it doesn't harm the relationship, and as long as it doesn't disturb like too many parts of their lives. We're talking about family, you know, colleagues and friends and things like that. As long as everyone is on the same page, everything should be okay. But make sure you stay true to yourselves. Make sure you stay true to each other. And if you don't agree, then don't do it. If you feel uncomfortable about it, don't do it. If you need to seek external advice, then go ahead and do that, because nobody should make you feel like you're not good enough. And if you think that you can be a better version of yourself by making certain changes, then absolutely go ahead and do that. Just make sure that you're going to be happy with those changes at the end of the day, because if that person is still not satisfied with the changes and they decide to walk away, or if they decide that, you know, they want more and more and more of you to change, then that is also not a healthy situation. So just make sure that you're comfortable with all of that. If you need any more advice or any more information, please reach out to me. I'm always available. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you think other people will benefit from viewing it, please share, because sharing is caring. And if you want to see more valuable content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, I wish you a beautiful, beautiful day, and we'll see you next time.